This lesson focuses on solving equations that have absolute values in them, and to get started we're just going to review what absolute value actually means. And the absolute value of any real number is that number's distance from 0 on a number line. That's why the absolute value of 4 is 4, because 4 is 4 units away from 0, and the absolute value of negative 4 is also 4, because negative 4 is 4 units to the left of 0. That's why whenever you find the absolute value of a number, you never get a negative value. It's always non-negative. Now, so in these first 4 examples, we're going to solve these absolute value equations. And the first thing you want to do is get the absolute value part or chunk by itself. And in A and B, that's already done. We already have the absolute value by itself. So then it's asking, what number is 5 units away from 0? Now, as we talked about up here, there are 2 numbers that are 5 units from 0. And they are 5 and negative 5. Okay, so 2x plus 1 could either be 5 or negative 5. And I set it up this way because it is a pretty easy way to set it up. And now when I solve this equation for x, I want to get x by itself in the middle. But when I perform operations to this equation, I'm going to do it everywhere. All 3 spots, because we technically have 3 places in this equation with those 2 equal signs. So now when I subtract 1, I have negative 6 out here, 2x left in the middle, and 4 out here. And then to get the x by itself in the middle, I'm going to divide by 2. And I'm going to divide by 2 in all 3 places. So then x is equal to 2 or negative 3. Now, it's always a good idea to check. We'll talk more about extraneous solutions in the second video for today. But in solving this one, we got x is equal to negative 3 or 2. So we're going to check each of these. We're going to start by plugging negative 3 in for x. So we have negative 6 plus 1, which is negative 5. The absolute value of negative 5 is in fact 5, so 3 works. I'm sorry, negative 3 works. Then we're going to substitute 2 in for x and check to see if it's true. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Absolute value of 5 is also 5. So they are both solutions to this equation. So x can be negative 3 or 2. And we're trying to find all solutions to these equations. In B, we're going to do the same thing. The absolute value is already by itself. So what number is 4 units from 0? Well, there are 2 of them. One of them is 4. The other one is negative 4. We've got a number that's 4 units to the right of 0 and the number that's 4 units to the left of 0. So now we're going to start getting the x by itself by subtracting 2 in all 3 places, because we have 2 equal signs. So we have negative 6 is equal to 3x left in the middle, which is equal to 2. And then when we divide by 3 in all 3 places, x is either equal to negative 2 or 2/3. And again, we're going to check first by plugging negative 2 in. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, plus 2 is negative 4. Absolute value of negative 4 is 4, so negative 2 is a solution. And then testing 2/3. 3 times 2/3 is 2, plus 2 is 4. Absolute value of 4 is also 4, so they are both solutions to this equation. All right, then the next two examples, we need to do some work to get the absolute value by itself first. And that's what you want to do first. You want to get that absolute value chunk by itself, then set it up like we did the previous two examples. So to get the absolute value part by itself first, we would add 1 to both sides. So we have 3 times the absolute value of x plus 2 is equal to 9. That's what we get when we add 1 to both sides. And then we would divide both sides by 3. So the absolute value of x plus 2 is equal to 3. So now we have the absolute value part by itself. And we just solved that the same way we would 3y minus 1 equals 8. That's all we did. Now we set it up because it's asking what number is 3 units from 0. Well, once again, there are 2 of them. There's the number that's 3 units to the right, and then the other number that's 3 units to the left of 0. And now we get the x by itself in the middle by subtracting 2 everywhere. So then we have negative 5 is equal to x, which is equal to 1. So now, checking, we start with the negative 5. Negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. Absolute value of negative 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9, minus 1 is in fact 8, so negative 5 is the solution. And then with 1 plus 2 is 3. Absolute value of 3 is 3. Times 3 is 9. Minus 1 is also 8. So they are both solutions. It's always a good idea to check your solutions, especially on a quiz and a test. That way you can ensure that you did the problem correctly. And finally, with D, again, we want to get the absolute value by itself first. First thing we're going to do is subtract 3. As if it was 2y plus 3 equals 7, you would subtract 3, then divide by 2. We're going to follow that same process. So we have 2 times the absolute value of x plus 9 is equal to 4. 7 minus the 3. Then we're going to divide by 2. So x plus 9 is in fact equal to 2. So then it's asking, well, what number is 2 units from 0? Well, there's 2 of them. The number that's 2 units to the right, and the number that's 2 units to the left. So then to get x by itself in that middle, we subtract 9 from both sides. So we have negative 11 equals x, which is equal to negative 7. And then once again to check, negative 11 plus 9 is negative 2. Absolute value of negative 2 is 2. Times 2 is 4. 4 plus 3 is in fact 7, so negative 11 works. It's a solution. Same thing with negative 7. Negative 7 plus 9 is 2. Absolute value of 2 is 2. Times 2 is 4, plus 3 is in fact 7. So they are both solutions. In the next video, we're going to see some examples of ones where both solutions don't work. That's the end of this video.